Imagine waking up tomorrow to find a perfect copy of yourself, not a reflection or a dream, but a second person with your exact face, personality, and memories sitting on the edge of your bed. Since both of you remember falling asleep in that room, it is impossible to determine which of you is the original. This experience is repeated in every home on the planet. The global population has jumped instantly from 8 billion to 16 billion. Governments freeze. National leaders enact emergency protocols, as they realize their systems were never designed to handle a sudden doubling of the citizenry. The global reaction is not one of curiosity or scientific interest. Instead, the world falls into a state of total disorientation. To understand why this creates a crisis of identity, we have to look at how cloning works in the real world. Natural human clones already exist. We call them identical twins. Although they share nearly identical DNA, twins are distinct individuals. They have their own experiences, their own friendships, and their own separate lives. Artificial cloning follows a similar path. As this microscopic view of a blastocyst shows, the process doesn't create an adult, it merely resets the biological clock to a single cell and begins the growth process from zero. But in this hypothetical anomaly, the copy possesses the same childhood milestones and emotional memories as you, right up to the present moment. If our identity is built on the unique history of our memories, the sudden existence of two identical histories effectively erases that uniqueness. Modern civilization assumes that every individual is singular. Ownership, banking, and legal status are all built on the fact that only one person can occupy a specific identity. Biometric security fails immediately. When two people share exact fingerprints and retinal patterns, scanners can no longer distinguish an authorized user from a duplicate. Basic logistics fail. There are no clear rules to determine who is entitled to a specific paycheck or who has the legal right to access a shared bank account. The criminal justice system stalls. If a suspect and their clone share identical DNA and both provide an alibi for the other, it becomes impossible for a jury to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This extends to the most personal connections, as families are forced to navigate the presence of two identical parents or spouses. Without the ability to verify a singular identity, the trust required for society to function evaporates. Beyond the logistics, there is the internal toll of the doppelganger effect, the mental strain of constantly facing a perfect replica of yourself. This creates intense competition. Both versions of the self are forced to compare their successes and failures, constantly measuring who is living the better life. This tension is why real-world human cloning is largely shunned. Beyond the ethics, researchers have found high rates of biological failure, fatal organ defects, and significant health risks to surrogates. The crisis stems from the realization that you are no longer a singular being, but a replaceable one. Eventually, the world would settle into a new reality. Population centers would adapt, resources would be rationed, and society would likely designate people as original or clone. While they begin as identical copies, biological time begins to pull them apart. We see the evidence of this in the history of Dolly the sheep, the first mammal cloned from the mature cell of an adult mammal. As cells divide, the tips of chromosomes, telomeres, naturally shrink, driving aging in all animals. Because clones start from adult cells, they inherit shortened chromosomes, resulting in premature aging and shorter lifespans. Even physical appearance will shift. Environmental factors and biological phenomena, like the random X chromosome inactivation seen in Cece the cloned cat, ensure that identical DNA does not mean identical physical patterns. The identical start is temporary. Over time, the forces of aging and the environment will fracture one life into two distinct physical futures. The brain will also diverge. Entirely different life experiences and choices will continuously rewire the neuroplasticity of each individual. Over the years, the exact duplicates will drift apart emotionally. They will experience different successes and heartbreaks until they are truly different people. The existence of a clone challenges the core of what we believe makes us human. It suggests that human specialness is not found in our DNA or even our past memories, but in the ongoing choices we make every day.